Clank NYC first in the house. All right, headset on, mic check. Microphone check, 1, 2, 3, mic check. Yep, looks like we are live. You're on all messages, turn it to, well, leave it, you've done the right thing. If you're on top messages, turn it to all messages. If you're on a computer, live chat is your all messages. Testing. Yeah, we've got a full volume here. Paul Clink, your video with Eli got a little airplay on Suma's stream yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. Welcome, Disney Mom. We have 5 letters from 2022. To kind of take it easy on myself, I'm just going to be replaying my original read of her family court letter, and then that should get me in the swing of things for doing the remaining letters. Let's just do a quick scene check here. Here all the scenes are okay. We're not going to the morning, so forget about that. There is the read of the 522 letter. There is the screen for the remaining reads of the evening. That's me watching me reacting to my own content. Oh, that was going to be a second screen. Maybe I want to set that up. Let's see. Figure that out in the 5 minutes I have left on the camera. Video capture device. Different one. 2. We won't be having a second camera. We'll be sticking with our single camera view. That's fine. What's wrong with single camera? Oh, but black screen, that's probably no good. All right, we've returned. Studio business is done. Unplug that for now. And Paul, actually, if you're here in the chat, you mentioned that you did like an AI script for a possible Boone convention. If you're interested in collaborating on that, I wouldn't mind doing a voiceover for you. So if you want to, my email is dandtruecrime@yahoo.com. So feel free to send me the script. And if you're going to upload if you want to animate an AI video of a fake conference and get me to do the coming to a city near you, Sarah Boone Convention, number 333. Guest speakers include, and do all that kind of stuff. Oh, was that all I need? No. Yeah, we got 3 minutes left. There's no more time for messing around here. That's charging. That's watch screen. Unprepared. We had fun watching Sarah Boone this morning. Starting. I see Joshua's here. Joshua Lee, Santiago Schroyer, welcome. I know you've been missing some Dan D live, so glad to see you for this late night one. I intentionally did this a little outside the normal podcasting schedule. So if you're outside of the North American continent and this happens to work better for you, it's because I was thinking of you. I was thinking we can't just do them all at the same time. We don't all live in the same place. We can't just do all the lives at the same time. So tonight we're doing a late live. What time do I have on the clock? 2 minutes on the clock, okay. So the cool thing is, normally I do my own live intro, but since The original reading was done on a live. We're going to, you know what, I'll even cut to him now. I think I read him. Him is me. I think I read a poem to get started. So we'll just let that screen start it from now. Hopefully anyone who didn't know when the night show was starting, this will give them enough time to catch up.
About a minute. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We've given our hearts away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears a bosom to the mouth, the winds that are howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn, so might I, standing on this pleasantly, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. That was The World is Too Much With Us by William Wordsworth. We have 1 minute left until the show, so this is little Dan D time. Stay with me. We'll be starting less than 1 minute.
A little facial hair. This is when I still wore a toque for every episode. Little Dr. Pepper under the tree there. This was a Christmas recording. Christmas time recording anyway. Probably some sort of, let's see, was it a December upload? Streamed 5 months ago. Look at all those time stamps. Look how organized I was back in the day. This was streamed live on December 19th, 2025. Kind of still new to streaming here. Just about time for the big intro. Gotta stay hydrated, Dan.
This is exciting, isn't it?
4,
3,
2, 1.
Let's get ready to ramble! It's the Friday Night Ramble with Dan D. It's 10:30 in London. It's 5:30 in New York. And in Australia, they're saying it's too damn early to be this loud. Whether you're here with us live or enjoying the replay live on tape, thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. We got a full show tonight. The entire B block is featuring a live first take dramatic reading of a Sarah Boone letter from May 1st, 2022. This is a response to Brian's family court summons that got this whole Judge Jackson case started. I've scanned through the letter, but I've not attempted reading it out loud. There will be mistakes. I'll need some logic breaks, but it should be fun. That said, our A block is a little bit of Christmas cheer. I found a poem online called Jailhouse Christmas. This should lift everyone's spirits, particularly if you know somebody who happens to be spending the Christmas in jail. So,
Are we going to read the jailhouse poem? Do we have time for that? Yeah, we have time for that.
Here we go. Jailhouse Christmas. This is by Sammy Kelly.
A to B is crocheting a triceratops this evening. That's pretty cool. I just watched a Netflix thing about the Jurassic Age and all of the different ages of dinosaurs. I'm sure it was narrated by Morgan Freeman. It was a pretty cool overnight thing to watch.
I just found it online. If you search Jailhouse Christmas, you'll probably be able to find this too. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the jail, not an inmate was stirring, for we were all locked in our cells. The cameras were hung on the ceiling with care, just a little insurance to make sure you stay there. Then all of a sudden there arose such a clatter. 2 fools in the next cell were charged with assault and batter. Wiseman came down the walk laughing with glee. saying this Christmas fell on a weekend and so did New Year's Eve. I went to the window in hopes that Santa would appear. Then I saw a blinking red dot. I knew it was Santa's reindeer. But no, it was a cop car filled with cons. Out stepped two of my friends with cuffs on. I went to my bed and I lied in the rack. I said Merry Christmas, but no one said it back. That was Sammy Kelly's Jailhouse Christmas.
All right, we'll skip ahead.
Poem for all of those who letter. So here we go.
This shows how manual I was back then. So I didn't have my MacBook. I just had my iPhone. So I printed off copies of this so that I could read the hard copies on the phone directly to you.
Dur.
That's right. I messed up the very first word. First word is dear. Dur.
Letter. So here we go. Dur. Did I really screw up the very first word? Dur. Reset. 3, 2, 1. Dear Sir, Madame, I am writing in regards to a summons I received 4/22/22, stating that a lawsuit has been filed against me in the aforementioned matter. As instructed, this letter will serve as my personal/individual written response to supplemental petition, joint stipulation, and notice of appearance included. I am in the process of trying to obtain representation for this and diligently working day by day, doing the best I can, and am literally able with the little to non-existent resources I have available. Please know, with great emphasis, that I am doing everything possible to defend and protect myself as a person and a mother foremost, while incarcerated temporarily. I have nothing and no one to help me, as both my parents, grandparents, aunt and uncle, wait for it, are deceased. I have an older brother who is unable to I have an older brother who is unable to be located. Come on, he's the one person that's in a fixed location. Okay. I have an older brother who is unable to be located, and a younger brother who is currently deployed in Africa for the Marines.
Africa.
I also have no counsel of any kind. Per the summons packet, I have tried to contact a referral service and legal aid via phone with no success due to the numbers being unauthorized in accordance to the rules of the OCCD. I am working expeditiously to find an alternative way to contact and figure out some type of facilitator. In the meantime, your patience is greatly appreciated. Your patience is greatly appreciated. As I said, I am doing all I can do to stress my dedication as well as seriousness to this matter as a concerned parent, and how it is of the utmost importance to be rightfully conveyed and understood as the very competent, caring, loving, hardworking, determined person that I am, and whose mental ability to co-parent is undeniably obvious and without any doubt should be included in the ongoing nurturing of our son.
We just have to remember, this is prototype Sarah. This is Sarah before she even knew who she was on the world stage. This is her first letter to her family court judge in response to Brian saying, "This is stupid. I'm not giving you money in jail for the next, 2 to 12 years as long as you put off your court case. I thought your case was going to be heard in the first year. I didn't think it would take more than 2 years. I've went to court. I'm you're not getting alimony. This is crazy. And yeah, this is Sarah's first appearance, letter writing to a judge. Not her last.
My decisions, ideas, opinions, feedback, rules matter. To be excluded in any way just because of my current temporary circumstances and location is wrong, unfair, and unacceptable. It makes absolutely no difference.
Thank you, Zeke Geistamy. A little reminder about all messages and like the stream. Thank you so much.
Where I am. Jail. Space. Australia.
Aussies, how was that accent? Go back a half second. Australia. Decided not to do the Crocodile Dundee or the Steve Irwin accent, just a random Australia.
Unacceptable. It makes absolutely no difference where I am. Jail. Space. Australia. I am not and will never be useless. Especially to our son. I am still his one and only mother who loves, cares, and adores him beyond measure.
When I see Sarah, I just think, oh, look at the adoration on that woman's face.
And I make his safety, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being my priority and will for the rest of my life. I will never stop being his mother.
What,
and
never?
Using my God-given talent. Okay.
What, never? No, never. What, never?
I will never stop being his mother and using my God-given talent. She was laughing when she said this. I will never stop being his mother and using my God-given talent and rights as his mother to remain so. One obscure, unfortunate incident does not define me as a person.
So that's first use of one obscure, unfortunate incident for history buffs in the audience. First documented usage of one obscure, unfortunate incident. A wording that's stayed remarkably intact over the years.
Or my entire existence. I want my son to know and show. I want my son to know and show. I want my...
So I just know when she's writing this, it's just if she doesn't know what to say, she thinks of something that rhymes and then thinks that's suddenly clever, which, you know, I get it. Sometimes I feel the same way about my own writing, but that's why I understand exactly what she's trying to do here. Usually I'll edit it back out. I'm like, no, that's not clever, but I want you all to know and show.
Son to know and show him that I am always willing to exceed any limitations placed upon me that would hinder my relationship with him as his mother and being included in every aspect of his life, now and future.
That's scary, eh? She wants to be in every aspect of son's life. Like, my God, as a teenager, the last thing I wanted was mom anywhere near me. Aside from, occasionally you'd see how bad your friends have it and then appreciate the fact that your own mom loves you. But yeah, in general, don't hold my hand. Drop me off like 5 blocks from the school. I'll walk.
Okay, I was a teenage boy once and I did not want my mother to be included in every aspect of
Okay, so 3 months ago me feels the same as futuristic me.
my life. At any point. Or in the... Yeah. Wow. Okay, maybe we'll just take a quick logic break there A glass of water. How's everyone enjoying this? Is this going okay? I'm just about done the second page, so this would be 25% of the way through it if it takes around the same time to do all the pages. So, okay, seems like we're doing well here. Maybe I should try it the God-given again. How far? Oh, that's all. Well, no, we're not going back that far. Hinder my relationship now. Okay, here we go. That's a long sentence. My God.
Just going back one sentence, it's a whole paragraph.
I want my son to know and show him that I am always willing to exceed any limitations placed upon me that would hinder my relationship with him as his mother and being included in every aspect of his life, now and future. He is my life. See why I couldn't just start it with that. I needed to build up. Who is former husband to assume and think his sole decisions are the best, fairest, and most successful for our son? I have God, my giving heart, functioning. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me just get this. Yeah. I have God, my giving heart, functioning well above average, brain, and bold voice. I'm going to reread that. I don't want to reread too many, but now we know what's coming. I have God, my giving heart, my functioning well above average brain, and bold voice to be my son's best advocate, as well as my own. I matter. If needed, our son should be included and asked his thoughts of his father attempting to remove my right in being his mother, and only ever to ask about his video games and what he had for dinner. Nothing of moral value or life-defining. I am not the worthless, mindless, heartless, unproductive, non-contributing, poor and pitiful footstool he would like me to be and tries to make me out to others. It makes no difference where I am. And it's... Man, okay. It's fun, though. It makes no difference where I am. It's who I am. Blank's mother, now and always. And again, one incident does not define me or my entire existence. I have so much to offer in so many ways, and it would be extremely detrimental, as well as a great loss, to not be able to continue in the shaping of our son and his very extraordinary life. Is former husband able to handle the consequences, burden, and heartache? Should his decisions jeopardize or harm the best possible outcomes and inhibit the absolute success our son could have been or had? How will this sole great responsibility, should it be awarded, affect the former husband's mental ability going forward, as all instances, scenarios, and situations are not the same? That is why there are two parents. Both, capital B-O-T-H.
I forgot how worked up I got. I definitely, geez, that might happen to me again tonight. It's kind of late for me to get this out of sorts. But got the outdoor window on too, the neighbor. Okay, I might have to shut that before I do any of my own readings tonight.
To broaden all horizons, outlooks, and futures for their children, and in which I am so desperately fighting now to continue to do for mine and all the right reasons. Credit to her, she does put a space between that line and this line, so it's like a real. She never puts spaces. That's wasted words. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I am no longer willing. Oh, I was close. I am no longer going to willingly make it easy for. Oh, Jesus. So up till now, it's been easy peasy for Brian. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy life with Sarah. But now, 2022 is when it started getting hard. Hard. I am no longer going to make it. I am no longer going to willingly make it easy for former husband.
If anything's easy for you from here on out, Brian, it was accidental. It was not intentional.
To advantageously rob me of my last and only minute life resources out of bitterness, greed, and spiteful opportunity. At my weakest, broken, most vulnerable moment, he is attempting to take full advantage of such with this unwarranted, vicious attack, thinking and hoping and assuming that I will wave a white flag, which I do not own. I have a Canucks flag. She probably doesn't have one of those either. I bet she does own white flags now. All the linens are white in prison, aren't they?
Have to wave a pillowcase.
Fashion a white flag. Yeah. Okay, let's start that again. Maybe a quick sip of coffee. Give me the energy I need. There's a lot of underlining to come. All right, people are still enjoying this. I see some people came late. If you came late, don't worry. This is going to go up on replay. This is going to stay intact. And this is really just a prelude to the full video that I'll be doing. So this is my practice to see what works.
Spoiler alert, I didn't do a full video. I get a little distracted, you know. Sometimes I do something and I think, oh yeah, I'll do like 12 more of these. And I do 2 more and I'm like, I'll do something else. Yeah, but I've been sitting on these. I've had all of these other ones to do, but I thought, no, I'm not going to do new letters until I milk the hell out of the old letter. And, hey, Suma, welcome to the late night chat. It's tomorrow already where Suma is. Welcome Prioristic from the future tomorrow. East Coast is on tomorrow. We're still on yesterday. Australia, I think you're like a day and a half behind and a half hour ahead.
I'll rewatch my video. I'll highlight the spots where I like the inflection. I'll change up the spots where I don't. But yeah, there's even more professional. If you can think.
There isn't a more professional video coming. This is as good as it gets. It's not going to get this good again. No, that's from a movie. But
how professional this is, it's going to be like, almost 1.5 times as professional. Here we go. God, I got loud there. Okay. It's another long-ass sentence. They're all long-ass sentences. Okay.
Dan, it's just like, it's only 3 months ago, and it's like I feel so, like an ingenue that, was new to the fact that Sarah had long run-on sentences. How did I miss it for so long?
I kind of speed through. Let's go soft. Give me some room to grow.
Exactly.
At my weakest, my broken, my most vulnerable moments, he's attempting to take full advantage with this unwarranted, vicious attack. He's thinking, hoping, and assuming I'll wave a white flag, which I don't own. Especially when it comes to my son. He is so wrong in doing so. Knowing fully the playing field is not and has never been even. All the odds are against me. A little Tupac. All odds on me.
But all odds are against me. There's no such thing as all the odds. It's either, it's 10 to 1 or 100 to 1 or 1,000 to 1. The odds could be heavily against you, but they can't all be against you. Otherwise, they're not odds anymore. It's 2-1. Like, there's always...
All odds on me. No, that's odds on him, though. Yeah, no, So Tupac was versus Sarah, and he had all odds on him. They were all against her. Never mind, that was Watch the Diddy documentary, though. All odds are against me due to my monetary restrictions and lack of a support system.
Suma Loudmouth says, and I'm reading this in Balky Bartokamus voice, It's just so ridiculous, Zeitgeist. Larry, it's just so ridiculous. Now, let's do the dance of joy.
It is illogical and futile to try and have a conversation or a discussion that is real, rational, or legitimate with former husband about anything. Then during our marriage and now. His superiority complex and ongoing dishonesty have made it very difficult and sometimes impossible to work with him.
Sometimes.
This, in turn, has compelled me to now bring attention to some of my concerns in the egregious decisions he has made.
Kevin Brady, I'm going to disagree. Now, as a fellow Canadian, I know that you've seen Charlie Brown's Christmas special broadcast ad nauseum up here, and that's a beautiful Christmas tree. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everyone can have their aluminum trees. Not in my house. I give love to the baby tree. You're right, Kevin Brady. It's a sad tree.
Prior and during my incarceration, as well as from...
Oh, you're calling it a man sad tree. I get it. Yeah, it's a solo man's tree. That's for sure. That's like, yeah, I put up decorations. What do you want? It's a freaking tree up. Sad thing is the tree's right here. It's I've just moved it out of the camera view. It's ready for next Christmas.
My son personally stating, quote, Dad's laziness, empty promises, and disappointments. Beep knows without any hesitation or doubt I will do anything, anytime, anywhere, all within reason, to help him. Which is why I, as his mother, have been his go-to person in many ways, for many things, throughout his life, including while being incarcerated. Welcome to the show, Vel73. We're having a great time here. I appreciate you being part.
I just leaned up the Christmas tree, and then it fell against the outlet, and I was worried that the tinsel might spark with the outlet. That would be sad to set the studio on fire with my sad Christmas tree.
Part of the crew. It gives me a chance to have a quick sip. Because my God, this yelling is really getting me in this lower Adam's apple area. Right there. All right, we're working it. Addie, I did get you your mod. I got you.
Candace, hey, fuck you. I hope you're having a good day. That's how we talk to each other. You guys don't understand. Yeah, hey, fuck you. Hope you're having a good day. Scott, if you're here, fuck you, Scott. It's not normal, Sarah. It's not normal. We don't do that.
In there. Don't make other people jealous. Aside from Suma and Danielle, you are one of 3 mods. We're going to get NK.
Oh, those were the days. At this point, Suma, Danielle, and might have been Addie were my 3 moderators. Grandfathered in. Welcome back.
He did it in there on the next one. That's it. Actually, maybe I'll take a very quick break. As far as moderation goes, I don't mind a bit of a troll. If somebody wants to troll it up, we don't need to ban them right away, but be there for me if they start getting stupid.
These rules still apply if you're a moderator now. Basically, just kick your feet up. Just enjoy the fact that you got a shield. Use your shield to kick your feet up. There's almost no moderation that needs to happen while you're moderating in this community.
But yeah, I kind of like it. I like playing with trolls. Remember the 80s, the ones with the hair and you could put them on the end of a pencil? Anyway, okay. Egregious decisions, disappointments. Beep knows without any hesitation or doubt.
Kevin Brady knows what he's talking about, saying I couldn't have looked any more Canadian. There's a lot of stereotypical Canadian, but this is authentic Canadian here. This real camouflage look, I swear to God, like moving out to the small town, almost everyone in the city wears this, and like you can see them. You're not walking in the woods, but now I have one, so I can fit in with the people. We all blend in together. But you can totally see us against concrete. It's like you don't blend in when you're grocery shopping at Walmart, but still doesn't stop like 1 in every 3 people from wearing little real woods camouflage. And I think that's, the plaid is stereotypical Canadian. This top is if you want to blend in and, have Canadians just think that you're one of us, wear this. We're one of those.
I will do anything, anytime, anywhere, all within reason, to help him. Which is why I, his mother, have been his go-to person in many ways for many things throughout his life, including while being incarcerated. Former husband is penalizing me because I care not. Fuck me. You gotta warn me when the jokes are coming, Sarah. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try and stay in character for this, but this is funny, so just, be ready for it. Oh, my God. Where did it go now? Oh, yeah, okay. Former husband is...
Yeah, Candace, the camouflage is working for you, eh? You're used to those canyon walls, so just seeing this amazing camouflage top blending into the background, especially with a real tree behind me. Yeah, I'm surprised you can even see my face. A little bit of hedgery that I've got on there.
Penalizing me because I care nonstop and have regular ongoing concerns, questions as our son continues to grow, and they are important and needing to be discussed. Our son can and will grow better, stronger, brighter with my decisions included. Also, as they have been since I brought him into this world. Former husband and I did this together, and I may be obsolete to him, but I am not to my son, nor will I ever be. So stop trying. We're 50% of the way through. I see we're 23 minutes into the stream. Yeah, I knew this one would go a little late, but that's not bad. We don't have too much to do in the C block.
Oh, isn't that cute? I was doing an hour-long stream and talking about how late it was going. Today I do a 6-hour morning stream and find that I'm bumped up against my evening stream.
Then we can just chat it up if we all want to hang out and have fun. All right, going to page 3. 3, yeah, okay.
3.
It's really tough to just look at a page and then see if the last word connects with the other one, because
you could totally Mad Lib Sarah's letters and like take, page 1 from a letter and then 10 letters later put in page 2 and then, from 4 letters before put in page 3, and they would all still sort of have the same flow. Like, oh, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of hard to tell.
Don't really need to. I could probably put all these pages completely out of order and they'd be just as lucid and entertaining. I guess the sir at the beginning, but all right, here we go. When trying to speak or with former husband.
Kevin Brady, I don't even hunt. I'm kind of a bit of a pussy when it comes to firearms. I don't even like the idea of holding one. I have fired arrows before. I've had members of the family that hunt, but still, I'm not a big hunter, even hunted meat type of person. But I can fake it around hunters. I can hang out with them. But best story I have about hunting is an uncle that's now died, but one of his first hunting trips, stalking a deer, and they're tracking it, and I think I've got a perfect shot, and the deer is down at the bottom of this valley, having a drink down at a little stream, and he takes a shot, and it's a one-hit kill. So at the bottom of this big hill is his deer, and his buddies are like, great shot. You pack it out, and in the future you might want to shoot your deer at the top of the hill. That was the last time he ever shot a deer at the bottom of a valley. I guess they're heavy.
And have an idea, belief, feedback. Okay, here we go. When trying to speak to or with former husband and have an opinion, idea, belief, feedback, etc., that is not in line with his or his parents, I've been laughed at, completely ignored, disregarded, given the silent treatment, berated, and made to cry. Just trying to say my opinion. Nobody cares, and I just try to share it. I don't want to be a wonderful mother to my son, and nobody cares. Brian's family doesn't care, and Dad doesn't care, and Mom. I've been laughed at, completely ignored, disregarded, given the silent treatment, berated, and made to cry, or hung up on. Most every time in front of our son. This, to me, is setting a poor example of how a man, husband, should treat a woman, wife, on top of being a bully. Beep! Hears and sees former husband, his father, treats and degrades and judges me, his mother. This is extremely confusing and sad to our son, as he knows I will only discuss, or try to, anything that pertains to him. He hears me being told indirectly that I am unimportant. This is unacceptable, damaging, and mean.
Candace asked Dan, have you ever thought about Broadway? And I'm more of an off Broadway type of performer. I have performed in school plays, and I'm very much considering. There's a local opera troupe that put on a show that I went to see a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 years ago. They did a Rocky Horror Picture Show as well. Anyway, I'm tempted. I feel like I definitely couldn't be a lead, but I could have a moment in the sun in that sort of a production. And it's a small enough town where people are pretty friendly about just going out there and giving it your all. The expectations are low, and the barriers are low as well. So I might, if I do something like that, I'll make sure I put a clip available for you guys to see. It's been a while since I've spent any time on the stage.
Also having lasting effects. An inherited trait.
Paul Klink, you're watching Dan D reacting to Dan D. This is Dan D of the of Prioristically. This is a December 19th of 2025 Dan D. And in the top corner with 3 rails of train cars behind me is Currentistic Dan D, reacting to Prioristic Dan D. But we'll be moving on to live reads of the other 4 letters from 2022 immediately following this. I just figured it would be easier for me to revisit my original read and kind of get ramped up into my Sarah voice and her inflections and mannerisms if I was able to listen to my original interpretation. Thanks for asking, Paul.
Led by example of his father, and serves no purpose, quality, or value. A bad decision. And again, she puts a line in between. So she's really like, this is not just me taking a break. She took a break between words. That's like 12 words that she's wasted. What former husband is trying to do is sweep me into a dark, bleak corner and keep me there. Like Baby in Dirty Dancing. That's not here. In a dark, bleak corner and keep me there, hoping I find no way out. Where's my Patrick Swayze? The relief he is seeking means to remove any additional work, trouble, effort, concern, responsibility, etc., which would make former...
No, Paul, this guy that I'm pausing, he's not live. This is Prioristic Dan. There's only one host here in today's show. Unless you happen to be watching the Cowboy feed and managing to comment on this live chat, but I doubt you're doing that. Both Dans are me. I'm coming to you in stereo. Da, 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 moving in stereo.
Husband, be
Husband.
reliable, caring, consistent, honest person he should be. How especially to our son, who I always wanted and needed him when we were married, possibly altering the current situation for everyone.
For everyone.
If I have no authority, power, or control, she doesn't. Okay, she needs control and power. If I have no authority, power, or control,
Then what am I?
there are no discussions of interactions, of concerns, ideas, plans, future our son does and will need involving both parents, me, and the other parent
The other.
included.
That's when she was just still calling him the other parent instead of former husband.
Not only am I continually disrespected, I am verbally threatened with some sort.
Poor Sarah, verbally threatened. You're probably going to go to jail for life, you.
Got it. This one's worth doing, right?
Who put Sarah in a dark, bleak corner?
Okay. Not only am I continuously disrespected, I am verbally threatened with some form of this looming lawsuit. In former husband's original verbal threat made sometime last year, so Brian wanted to do he could have saved like 6 months of the like $6,000 of alimony if he did it when he said he wanted to do it. And she actually is acknowledging that he kind of made the point. It's beside the point. It's in Judge Jackson's hands now. If former husband's original verbal threat made sometime last year, early 2021, that could have been $12,000.
This is actually, if I wasn't, I hadn't had such a long day, this was probably worth rewatching just to get the math right. But this becomes part of Judge Jackson's ruling. Is the $12,000 that Brian could have gotten credit for if. Well, let's just go back a little. Go back too far. Go back 20 seconds. But it could be Sarah acknowledging the fact that Brian wanted to cut off alimony for her being in jail in 2021.
Kind of made the point. It's beside the point. It's in Judge Jackson's hands now. If former husband's original verbal threat made sometime last year, early 2021.
So that's it. So Brian might have said in early 2021, that's it. This is bullshit. I'm sick of paying you alimony. You've got 0 days of child support. You're being paid for by the state. You can see there's a little flash of like, oh, I might have just broken some news here. But then I move on because didn't believe in myself.
That could have been $12,000. Okay. In former husband's original verbal threat made sometime last year, early 2021, to take away my parental rights and funds necessary for my livelihood. Excuse me, did I burp while doing that?
I did burp. Burp. That's totally channeling Sarah. Of course, there would be an internal burp.
Livelihood. Excuse me, did I burp while doing that? Funds necessary for my livelihood while incarcerated. Like people.
I literally choked on the idea of Sarah having a livelihood. 59. Go back.
My parental rights and funds necessary for my livelihood. Excuse me, did I burp while doing that? Funds necessary for my livelihood while incarcerated. Like people without funds are dying. Well, I'm sure there are people dying while incarcerated, but not because of lack of funds. Okay, reset. We're almost through. Is this still the same sentence? Oh, fuck. Okay, here we go. In former husbands.
I can just picture Laurence Olivier as Candace is saying that I may be a stand-in for her, going, "This is still the same sentence, fuck!" All right, roll it.
Original verbal threat made sometime last year, early 2021, to take away my parental rights and funds necessary for my livelihood while incarcerated after my sincere, heartfelt begging was sobbing to him while on the phone in the middle of the dorm.
Okay, this is a little bit of a dramatic interlude, but in the middle of the letter, all of a sudden she starts describing how she's on the phone call in the public dorm, begging and crying, and mean Brian is just telling her, well, good. Now, maybe you'll do what you're supposed to do instead of acting like such a crazy bitch. But her word for word retelling of the story, I think I capture it beautifully.
In my desperation, I asked why? Why are you doing this to me? Fully and completely knowing that I have no one, nothing. And how meaningful it is to be called. My desperation, I asked why? Why are you doing this to me? Fully and completely knowing that I have no one, nothing. And how meaningful it is to be called Beep's mother. And his response was simply,
And the Oscar goes to?
It will make you say yes now. If you keep doing as you have been doing, everything will be fine. I have...
Oh, come on. Right? Broadway. Come on.
And his response was simply, it will make you say yes now. If you keep doing as you have been doing, everything will be fine. I have been saying yes, and I've had no choice if I'm even asked.
Disney Mom asked, did Brian ever send her any tablet messages? I think he just ignored her. You're 100% correct. It came out in the family law trial. Sarah was able to directly ask Brian, why don't you answer any of my tablet messages? And Brian's answer was, and I quote, because I don't care. Why don't you care? Because I don't.
Anything to be able to answer. I am unclear as usual when dealing with former husband or his behavior with these new revised threats and demands that I have not already submitted to previously seen or even knew existed until now being served. I will not be erased or downgraded to nothing because former husband is bored and bitter. Totally unfair.
This is futuristic to the 50 Things Prior. 50 Things Prior came up in the interrogation, Phil for Dom Russo asks. But yes, 50 Things Prior was one of Sarah's first little turns of phrases that was popularized through the interrogation. But all the letters, I believe this is the first letter on record. And it was to the family court in response to Brian filing a petition to stop paying alimony. He filed that petition in February of 2022, so 2 years after the incident. And we know how long it took to resolve, which is crazy.
And the cruel ego trip is disgusting. And nothing to be proud of.
I should probably spark up my last one before
point?
reading.
There is nothing left other than my dignity, which he will never have. What would our
Apologies to Whitney Houston in about 12 seconds.
son say?
Couldn't hear her say dignity without indulging myself. So, if you guys are fans of Whitney Houston, prepare for an interpretation.
Which he will never have. What would our son say? How would he feel? No.
Deb Richardson, welcome to the chat. I don't know how you've managed to go through this much time in the Dan D universe without getting yourself a mod wrench. So you've got one. Good to see you.
The truth. And there's another pause, and I'm going to pause that because I think she's stealing from Whitney Houston there. No matter what you take from me, you can't take away
My dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found my love in
is
the greatest love of all. No matter what you
no
take
R2
from
M&Ms, that
me.
was me. I did a very quick striptease. You missed it. You'll have to...
That was funny too. So I was doing a vertical live here, and RN2 Mums was just trying to scroll the chat, and it turned to a guy just actually like taking his shirt off, and she comes back to the chat and is like, "Don't scroll away. I don't know what I went to, but there's a guy taking his top off." And I'm like, "No, RN2 Mums, you missed it. That was actually me, but don't worry, I'm fully clothed again." No matter.
Watch it on the replay. All right. All right. All right, here we go. M&Ms, that was me. I did a very quick striptease. You missed it. You'll have to watch it on the replay. All right. All right. All right, here we go.
Candace has got
We'll go back to the totally unfair.
bit of a mascara meltdown thanks to the raw emotion portrayed on the screen by Dan D of 3 months ago. I hope Dan D of 3 minutes from now is able to live up to the bar set by this fine performance.
And cruel ego trip, and then there'll be a slight pause. There's only 2 pages left. We're 75% of the way
Oh,
through
fuck
this.
me. Okay, well, kick my feet
Totally
up.
unfair and cruel ego trip is disgusting and nothing to be proud of. What is the point? There is nothing left other than my dignity, which he will never have. What would our son say? How would he feel knowing the truth? Please know, I do still have numerous other legitimate concerns needing to be addressed in the petition and personally, and
Numerous.
should be by any decent parent/respondent. This is not a one-sided attack, and I await the opportunity to clarify my specifics, if/when needed. I, the mother to our son, believe said concerns are very... Last page. Double-sided. Very important. I've realized also this lawsuit may be only opportunity due to my restricted resources to have them handled and hopefully remedied professionally, positively, and fairly. I am praying I can be heard, seen, and capital letters included by this letter in the ongoing proceedings, meetings, discussions, etc. Futuristically. That's a prioristic, futuristically. Oh yeah, that's one of the earliest futuristics. Etc. Futuristically. I am hoping also to have some type of representation to amicably bring this matter to a concrete amicably threw me. She doesn't want it amicably, and I couldn't read concrete. I'm hoping also to have some type of representation to amicably bring this matter to a concrete conclusion, being beneficial to everyone. A copy of this letter is also being sent to legal aid for review and assistance. In the meantime, I am still mom with my mom rights. Because mom rights don't exist in the way she's quoting there. Yeah, it's very, she really gets into the quotes. There's quotes, there's underlining. Okay, we can get through this.
It's like she was unlocking powers as she was writing the letter, and by the end of the letter, like, she had full use of all these new abilities that she didn't have at pages 1 and 2. And now it's just like, well, I'm using everything. I'm using the quotes. I'm using the underlines.
This now, though, we're over an hour into the stream. I think we've got about 10 minutes left of this, and then probably 15 minutes left of the C block. Then we'll shut this down and do a chat where we can talk about.
Okay. We're not going to watch the C block unless, let's see, is there anything really good in here? What do I have? Weaving the White Flag, dramatic read reflections, shout out to Cowboy Criminology class. No, we'll just watch the video and then we'll get into the new material. Thank you for sticking with me for the hour-long pre-show.
Anything you enjoyed or didn't enjoy from this? The level of this lawsuit is unfair, unnecessary, and uncalled for. This lawsuit is also from one monotone side of former husband. I, the former wife, who's not monotone, there's rise and falls.
Yeah.
I, the former wife, have a side also. Intellectual, willful, and valuable, deserving to be heard. Can you hear what I hear?
I'm getting silly now.
A cry, Sarah in the night. She wants all her mom rights. Won't you give her her mom rights? The level of this lawsuit is unfair, unnecessary, and uncalled for. This lawsuit is also from one monotone side of former husband. I, the former wife, have a side also. Intellectual, willful, and valuable, and deserving to be heard. I am also fully dedicated and devoted to my son and his rights. His uninfluenced feedback should be included, and it is only fair to him to know the extent of the situation and the cruel attempts of his father to his mother.
Care for JC.
Future, or soon to.
We're in extended pre-show Care for JC. If you happen to have seen any of this video before, you're just catching up to the beginning of the new material. We're reading all of Sarah Boone's 2022 letters. This one I read 3 months ago, and just wanted to revisit it to kind of get myself in the mood. Been fun. We've had a good time watching it. I kind of feel like I might have set the bar a little high for myself. I didn't realize, obviously I realized, but I did a Whitney Houston cover. I did a freestyle on a Christmas song. I don't know if I'm able to bring that kind of power to you guys tonight, but we'll have fun. We'll go through it. Anyway, Care for JC, you're here just in time for the new material and a little bit of the end of the old stuff.
I was unaware that former husband has a crystal ball.
A soothsayer.
I have faith and will always. This being something that no one can take from me.
Oh, just like your dignity. Disney Mom says, "Dandy, mocking Dandy, I need a drink." For some reason I read that as almost a Carol of the Bells. I need a drink, give me a drink, give me some drinks. I need a drink, I need some drink.
So her faith is like her dignity. Okay. This being something that no one can take from me. No one either is better than anyone else in this or ever. She really wrote that. Okay, I'm just going to read it as is. No one either is better than anyone in this or ever, and money can't buy everything, especially love, grace, understanding, and goodness. If former husband is willing to have a rational or reasonable discussion, however mediated, I am more than willing and welcome. If there's anything else I can do to show my good intentions, other than, writing this letter, that literally is here. Anything to show my good intentions other than writing this letter, expressing my desperation to continue to be included in my son's life.
She thinks this letter actually helps her case at this point.
My understanding of an emergent need of counsel and sheer hope of a resolution. I'm also willing to submit to a competency test or any kind of test to show my capabilities mentally and full ability to co-parent. I am not the ridiculous.
Rediculous. I didn't have anti-mirroring, but I just needed to zoom in so we all saw exactly how she spelled ridiculous with the red. Sarah puts the red in ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I am not the ridiculous. I'll just keep saying it till I find it. Ridiculous.
At this point, I lost my place, but just knew that the word ridiculous was the last word I read. All of her writing looks so similar, it's hard to pick out words amongst all the equal loops.
Ridiculous. I am not the ridiculous, ruthless, degenerate felon former husband slenderously assumes I am. I love my son, immeasurable, and I have a limitless abundance of positive, meaningful, solid, contributing life characteristics to share. And I have my son inherit from me, which is priceless. It's like an heirloom. I'm going to read that again. I love my son immeasurable, and I have a limitless abundance of positive, meaningful, solid, contributing life characteristics to share and have my son inherit from me, which is priceless. I can co-parent. Is going to positively participate and understand rather than pillage and point fingers. Those three are pointing back. A mother is her son's first love, in which I will very much and with every fiber of my being want to still be. Thank you for your time in reviewing my formal written response, in part. So this is an edited version. This is not her full written response. This is just an edited version. Thank you for your time reviewing my formal written response in part to the petition. I am grateful for your understanding and hearing my side, which is only fair and right to do. This is between both parents. I await your response and instruction. Please do not hesitate to let me know if anything further in my ongoing, unreserved cooperation is needed. So reasonable, eh? I am still in this.
I'm willing to go above and beyond. So just include that in your final ruling. Brian is just doing the bare minimum where I've offered to do above and beyond.
Still a person when former husband was married to for 13 years and is known for more than 20. Most of all, I am still the mother of my son, and that's the most important of everything pertaining to him. Come what may. Sincerely, Sarah Boone.
Careful, the beard will come back. I'm almost always bearded, so I think I just needed to shave back down so that the mustache got evened out with the facial hair. But I picture by this time, I don't know, mid-June, July, I'll be similar to the guy you're looking at here in the lower corner.
So that's the letter.
Okay.
I think that went well. I kind of enjoyed it more than I expected. I actually understood it a little better yelling it than I did reading it, which is a bizarre trait to have in your writing.
Good takeaway.
Good for her. I'm just going to need a quick break to come down from that before we get into the C block. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, we're not going to do a C block. We will leave Dan from the past. We'll move to the future. Futuristically, that letter that we just read was from May of 2022. This letter is dated September 9th of 2022. And again, big shout out to Classified Crime. Classified Crime and Snoopy are responsible for providing these documents to Dan D. True Crime. Classified Crime was one of the first channels to have me on as a guest. Gave me an opportunity to speak my mind about three-railed true crime outlets, and it turned out that my gut opinions have stood the test of time. I think a lot of those early opinions have weathered well, so good for you, Prioristic Dan. You just pull up this screen, and once I start reading, well, I will have the chat so I can see you guys. You guys can tell me if the if I'm getting out of sorts or you need a break or anything like that. But I'm not going to be watching the production screen. I just want to make sure that scrolling works for you so if you're not able to scroll along with the letter, let me know. Well, I should be able to see that too on my screen. Okay, well, Care for JC loves semi-rants like this. Good. This is, I feel semi-ranty. Mom's sleeping downstairs, so I can't get too loud. But she's also a little bit deaf in one ear, so I can kind of balance it out. I can go a little bit louder and... All right. We'll shut the door slightly. Okay. And we'll start slow. We'll give room to grow. Judge Michael Dean, Orlando, Florida. 32801. Ray Brian Boone, Sarah Boone. Judge Dean, forgive me in advance. I am inadvertently lagging in the progress and updates of my case, and I need your assistance to get help. Please provide clarification and explanation for multiple legitimate concerns that I have that are hindering my right to be included in my case fully, honestly, and correctly. This past Friday, September 9th. Oh, is it not scrolling? Oh, hold on, that might be. I'm watching the past. It is scrolling. All right. All highlighting is also classified crime. Those are her highlights on the original documents. So if you're going to ask me why is blue different than green, I have no fucking idea. That's what she did. Watch Classified Crime, though. Classified Crime's great for bringing the receipts. I think looking at her logs of the jail calls compared to the actual length of the calls really brings up some interesting questions about what we're not seeing on the full-length calls. But let's forget about that and move back to this past Friday, September 9th, 2022. I received a copy of the order for the case management conference for September 19th, 2022 at 3:30. The order was done and ordered on Monday, August 22nd, 2022. The copy of the order was postmarked Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. Why was I not mailed this the same day it was signed? Why were only former husband and his attorney in receipt? Why was I finally mailed a copy 2 weeks after completion? Would I have received last month, I could have had ample time to prepare and make arrangements to respond sooner. How is this acceptable? Your Honor, why am I not being included on and in everything at the same time everyone else is? I am either not at all mailed pertinent information and updates, it's sent to the wrong person, or I'm receiving last minute, being made to scramble with the ongoing fear and threat of not being included. And it's not by choice either. Do you all not understand, remember, or care that I am the other party, the respondent? In this case, the way I am being treated by all other parties is wrong, unjust, and seems unlawful, giving the appearance I don't care due to lack of responses and the extended length of time I take when I do from not receiving my needed documents to respond accordingly. Now, I only have 5 days from receiving my copy on my end, which includes the time it takes for you to even receive this letter, to prayerfully grant permission to me so I can be included at the case management conference. In my case next Monday, I do not have a legal representative or steward to also be included at this conference on my behalf, making my efforts and attempts more desperate and my want more ferocious. Judge Dean, please understand. Please see my determination and the never-ending hurdles continuously being pushed in front of me or thrown where I just keep having to learn how to jump higher and higher and higher. My volume okay? I'm not topping out constantly, am I? I can't see the volume bars while I'm screaming here. I keep moving the boom mic slightly away from my mouth to try and keep it, but I don't see complaints. But feel free to complain if it's too loud for you. And not too loud, but I mean like where it clips out, where you're not hearing it all. Because I can make adjustments where I can still scream, but you guys can hear it too. Let me know if you're missing words. And that was a bit of a break just so that I didn't have to keep screaming. All right. Judge Dean, please understand. Please see my determination. Higher, higher, higher. Just know, with my heartfelt will, my honorable cause, and unbridled love for my son and my rights to be his mother, to be able to make competent, important, and valued decisions in his life, I'm going to learn to fly over the hurdles in this case, my other case, and my battle with cancer. Hello. We thought we had to go to third rail to hear this kind of crap. Let's read that again. I'm going to learn how to fly over the hurdles in my case, my other case, and my battle with cancer. And any other health issue I'm dealing with. Fly. Period. I'm not going to jump anymore. It's my right to be heard, seen, and respected as the person and mother I am. Her battle with cancer. She had a mole removed, right? I've had a mole removed. They sent it away to see if it was cancerous, but they cut it out and it was gone. And, I never got a call back about it. So I won my battle with cancer too. Sorry, I don't mean to denigrate anyone's battle with cancers. It's fucking shitty. Shitty. My daughter's best friend and sister-in-law, who was her husband's brother's wife, died mid-30s. Super energetic. Even right to the end, I'm bumping into her with her two kids at Walmart, just shopping and doing all the mom stuff. And anyway, Sarah's battle with cancer, right? Your flippant little battle with cancer. I'm going to learn how to fly over the hurdles in this case, my other case. And for reference, her other case is the criminal case for killing George, putting him in a suitcase, and having him die of positional asphyxia after beating the shit out of him with a baseball bat. And my battle with cancer. And any other health issue I'm dealing with. Fly. I'm not going to jump anymore. It's my right to be heard, seen, and respected as the person and mother I am. It is not right in any way for me to be ignored, bypassed, or automatically overruled by the system.
Yeah, this is a woe is me kind of thing, Phil. I don't know why she's crying wolf to Judge Dean. Judge Dean doesn't care about your wolf cries. She sits here crying woe. I am not mute. I am not mentally R-worded. Ooh, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but we're going to make sure that this is clear that I'm reading the report of somebody who's mentally unwell. I am not mute. I'm not mentally retarded or impaired. I'm a loving, determined mother, friend, teacher, supporter. I am also an ex-wife. That ex-husband needs to conclude will always be in our son's life and his. Well, stalker much? And come to the acceptance of the situation, which nonetheless is temporary. So on the one hand, she's saying, I will permanently be a part of your life, and by extension, your life. Poor son, poor you. But you have to come to acceptance of the situation that my situation is temporary. Your situation of being stuck with me, that's forever. It's forever. You don't understand. That's forever. Here, there, wherever. Now then, the future former husband is going to have to respectfully deal with me one way or the other. We have a child together. The sooner he comes to terms with all of this, as I have, the sooner the beginning of his hot, hard, sought-after relief can start. He and whomever else also need to remember crystal balls are a novelty. Phoenix Rising, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe it helps doing the late night chats to get to see some new people. My eyes are feeling a bit watery and slanty. I've smoked too much. I've been up too long, but I don't mind rocking it out late with you guys. So if you guys don't mind me getting a little sleepy, I think it's important for me to get a good night's sleep. So I want to work myself to really tired. Not tired enough to fall asleep on the stream, but still good and tired so that I can wake up and start immediately on Sunday Fun Day. And I know tomorrow's Saturday, but I have a job, so I'm not going to do a Sunday Fun Day test on a Sunday. But there will be some bonus material. We'll talk about it after this letter gets done. We're on page 3 of 5 pages, but it's really only 4.5, so we should be through this in a second. Crystal balls are a novelty. I'm doing everything in every way to stay afloat and still be a part of everything involving my son's life and mine. In the meantime, I've been providing relief to former husband in numerous ways on a daily basis. I've been providing relief to former husband in numerous ways on a daily basis. That sounds like somebody who isn't in jail, something that you would be able to do for former husband. It's kind of, I feel it sounds like she's giving him handies. Obviously she's not, she's in jail, but I've been providing relief to former husband in numerous ways on a daily basis. Nothing was as difficult or tumultuous until he decided to devise his scheming, manipulative plans and agreements. No one would know this because no one is giving me a chance to be a part of anything. Although the playing field is completely uneven and the odds are stacked so high against me, I can't see the top, and I have nothing. I'm going to fly. Fly like an eagle. Flies like a turkey. And surprisingly, turkeys can fly. They're more of gliders, but they get up into the tree somehow. So they're not the most graceful flyers, but I think she could fly like a turkey. With that being said, and unfortunately at the last minute, now that you've received and read this with only a couple days remaining before the conference, I want and am entitled to be in attendance, however necessary, so that I am rightfully updated. Aha! We get to the root of what she's wanting in this letter. She wants to get out of jail free for the day card. She wants to be important, have the whole transport thing, bunk kicked at 3 a.m. Sorry, girls, I have to go. I have my very important conference. Bye. Tell me what was for breakfast. With that being said, and unfortunately at the last minute, now that you've received and read this with only a couple of days remaining before the conference, I want and am entitled to be in attendance, however necessary, so that I am rightfully updated, present, and most importantly, included for the preparation of upcoming for the preparation of the upcoming hurdles futuristically. What needs to be done so that I can be there? Monday, September 19th, 2022, 3:30 p.m., Courtroom 98, Orange County Courthouse, redacted by classified crime, Orlando, Florida, for the 30-minute allotted time given. Transport order, video setup. Telephonic appearance must be court-ordered, per the instructions on the copy of the order setting the hearing. How? It is not right if I am unable to attend this due to last-minute attempted arrangements being made for me to do so. Would I have received the information when everyone else did 2 weeks ago, timely plans could have been made and scheduled, just as the order was on August 22nd, 2022. And today, September 9th, 2022. Why didn't she call it 9922? Today, September 9th, 2022. Why is that September 9th, 2022 and not 9922? No consistency with this girl. Finally, and for whatever reason I am just now aware is scheduled, please instruct me what I may need to do so I can cooperate and greatly increase my opportunity to be there. How can I validate and educate when no one listens, cares, or is in front of me? I thank you as always for your invaluable time, consideration, and much needed overdue assistance. She had to slip overdue in there. Like she's trying to suck up to them. I thank you as always for your invaluable time, consideration, and much needed overdue assistance. Who else is there, Honorable Dean? I'm also still waiting for your response from my recent letter sent to you on August 17th regarding another order dispensing mediation I never received and was only made aware was generated by my 11-year-old son reading it to me due to being sent his address. Please provide an update for that as well. So that's the one where I was talking to Son and Son opened up a letter and told me that I'm being sued. Why do I have to learn it like this? Also, on the order for the conference, I am graciously requesting to be included. I am graciously requesting. You graciously accept. You don't graciously request. I'm graciously requesting a case of beer. Take home, share with my friends. Thank you. Graciously providing that gracious. I am graciously requesting to be included and a part of on page 2 of 2, where all parties were sent a true and correct party. My address is incorrect. Please change so no other penalty, mistake, or reasons are made to be used against me in whatever way it seems everyone, especially former husband, is hoping will be my demise. Again, thank you, Judge Dean. I look forward to meeting you. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone. All right, that was the September letter. I have a letter from that one also September. What's this? This is October. Frank Bankowitz. I have October, I have a November, I have a December. Frank Bankowitz, this is a 2-page letter, so not quite as far. Phoenix Rising. Oh, Dan, I've been here, watching, listening, but many times I prefer to enjoy your shows wearing an earpod while preparing and cooking dinner. just smiling like a loon at every Sarah cell phone. I appreciate that. And I know there's a lot of people, well, not a lot. Like right now, we just have a small group of us, but we're enjoying each other's company. I know there's people who are on the replay crew, people that don't want to necessarily be part of the chats. You're certainly welcome at any time, and I appreciate you when you pop in. But yeah, if you just like enjoying this on your own, I appreciate that too. I started this channel because there was some Sarah content that I was saying, hey, someone should do this and someone should do that. And it was mostly about my music video ideas, but then I just realized maybe I should just do it if I think these ideas are so great. And some of them turned out to be really great. Some of them, you know, not as great as others, but still fun to do. And then, yeah, that just segued into being able to, you know, just kind of talk freeform. And I always, well, from a young age, I wanted to do radio, and radio kind of died at the same time I became old enough to be someone working in radio. So this is such a cool way for me to kind of live out that radio dream of my youth, and have it be something where I can do it on my terms, and I'm not just, you know, here in the studio talking about falling rock or wildlife accidents on the Sea to Sky Highway going north or southbound. But if you want to hear what those traffic reports sound like, it's a free call on your cell phone. If you see any problems in traffic, please give us a call. If you see any wildlife on the road or any fallen rock, just give us a call on your cell phone. It's star 103. This is We Discover in the Morning. I'm Dan. Thank you for calling in. Squamish Radio 234. It was something like that. It wasn't quite like that, but it was close enough. Anyway, we did those traffic reports. Well, I did them for one weekend every 10 minutes on the morning show. Wasn't exactly my dream of radio. I wanted to do opinion call-in show kind of stuff. I really liked the Christian Slater movie. I think it was called Pump Up the Volume. And then there was another one that was more of a grown-up, it was called Talk Radio. And it had this rather intense guy as a host that I think was based on a true story too, because he ends up getting killed by white supremacists that didn't like his rather, well, he was provoking them on the radio, but you know, if anyone should be provoked, right? Anyway, look for those two movies: Pump Up the Volume, Talk Radio, kind of inspirational journeys in the creative mind of Dan D. So this is a letter to Mr. Frank Bankowitz, Frank J. Bankowitz. It was dated on October 3rd, 2022. The letter that was written to Mr. Bankowitz, but also copied to the judge, and that's how it would have been on the record. I do see some dates in here. One of them is talking about having a visit in person with him on August 22nd, 2022. That was a date that was referenced in the last letter. So we'll see how busy she is juggling her family court and her criminal court trials. Quick sip here. Care for JCYT, when she first came to LA, was the one who listened to the police radio for metro traffic. My friend was the one who was on air. I had to call the police just to, you know, anything interesting happen overnight? Nope. Okay. Are you just saying that because something interesting happened and you don't want to tell me? Nope, nothing interesting. We had 2 people get pulled over. Okay, that's probably not interesting. Thank you. Mr. Bankowitz, I'm writing in regards to not hearing from you and am becoming very concerned after receiving no response to any of my daily calls or from the letters I've sent. As of today, October 3rd, you have been my court-appointed attorney for almost 3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days. Oh my God, that's Frank Bankowitz, 3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days a slave. As of today, October 3rd, you have been my court-appointed attorney for almost 3 months, 12 weeks, 84 days. And only spoken to me 3 times. 3. 7/14/22. Video introduction. 15 minutes. August 2nd, 22. Video update. 15 minutes. August 22nd, 2022. Visit in person. 90 minutes. Just going to point out here that October 3rd and August 22nd are not that far apart. She just had a 90-minute meeting with him 6 weeks ago. And she's pissy enough to write a letter. Like, a 90-minute visit is a pretty significant. Okay, anyway. I've written 2 letters in the meantime. Also, my most recent I sent on September 12th, 2022, with no response. Okay, so that was 3 weeks ago. 2 letters, though. 2 letters in the 6 weeks from a 90-minute meeting. I am aware of the difficulties you are having in communicating with me. Video, phone, letter, in person. Especially via phone, which to me is the simplest form of doing so. Even if just for a brief update, which only takes minutes. I believed you. Giving me your personal cell phone number, you were going to answer. I would at least know all is well and have a better understanding of the status of some things, what to plan on, and what I may need to work on. With no communication makes my end more difficult, drawn out, and painful. Please figure out whatever necessary for my phone calls to be answered, which you will be reimbursed for when you submit your costs. It feels at this rate of communication and meetings, and you just coming on board, not having all of my discovery to go over, still on top of everything else to be done, and depth. How much longer am I really going to be here? Added to the 32 months already. Life. You'll be there for life. How much longer am I really going to be here? Added to the 32 months already. Especially if we communicate, however you eventually do, only 1 time a month, if that. As for all of the month of September, I know nothing. Not hearing from you. I understand you have other clients, as I am one also, and you've been recuperating from your back. But remember, please, how long I've been here. You are my 6th attorney, not by choice. And the magnitude of my case, with not knowing what's going on, or where you are, how much harder it is for me. I want to get on with my life, Mr. Bankowitz, and not miss any more time necessary from my son. I've already missed 4 of his birthdays and spent 3 of my own in here. I remember Tanika did the math on that. There's no way both of those things are true. If Sarah's birthday is 10-10-7-7 and son's birthday is in between that and Christmas, there's no way that the number of birthdays should be off on a September letter. Same amount of birthdays. Anyway. Props to Tanika, always with the receipts. No, too, I am patient. Know that. No, too, I am patient. Clearly, after all the time already invested. Still smiling and willing to go above and beyond. What do you mean by above and beyond? She's still smiling and willing to go above and beyond whatever we need to do properly and truthfully. Convey my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything. Correct there. Her very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything. That could be the name of the Sarah Boone journals. Sarah Boone journals. Subheading, my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything. Take a side of everything with some mashed potatoes, uneffed, which I boldly told you in our meeting of last month. I am a dedicated. Let's just read the whole paragraph because this is real. The real onion of of shit. Many layers to peel back. No, too, I am patient. Clearly, after all the time already invested. Still smiling and willing to go above and beyond. Whatever I need to do properly and truthfully, convey my very convoluted, misunderstood side of everything, which I boldly told you in our meeting as last month. I am dedicated, ready to start, overdue. I'm so very grateful, Mr. Bankowitz, for you, all you are doing, have done, and will do. We're in this together, and I'm so blessed that you are my attorney. God has put us in each other's paths for a reason, and I can't wait to see what you and he will do. I'm praying the 6 times the charm. Please respond. I await your response. Thank you profusely. Sarah Boone, Sarah Boone. CC, Judge Wayne C. Wooten. Mr. Wooten. We love Mr. Wooten. Mr. Wooten was a lot of fun. He was a little bit more permissive, but, you know, he was the right judge for that phase of the trial. All right, where are we going to go? We're going to the last letter now, I think. Or no, we said that was October, right? If that's October, then we have to go to November before we go to December. That doesn't look too bad. 3 more pages. Thinking we're starting to get late enough. What are we at? We're just past midnight in my time zone. If you're on the East Coast, you're rocking a 3 in-the-morning letter reading, so thank you for joining me for that. If you're around the world, it's probably a little bit more reasonable where you are. I know that UK and Australia are battling. They're neck and neck for 3rd most visited Dan D True Crime viewers. So keep fighting, Australia. You occasionally will beat in viewing hours. There's more raw viewers from the UK, but there's some Aussies that are putting in some serious time, and my appreciation to both the United Kingdom and the Australian Empire down there, the continent, the country, all the provinces. And there's also, I've got a little Portugal, a little Germany, Netherlands. My star map is filling up. It's filling up pretty nicely. November 3rd, 2022. 4 weeks exactly since last letter. Wayne C. Wooten. Honorable Judge Wooten. Forgive me in advance for having to utilize your invaluable time to ask current progress of my case. But after not having any form of communication with my attorney appointed by you, now after 11 weeks and counting. Okay, so this is 4 weeks after the letter that we just read. But again, that letter was only 6 weeks after getting a 90-minute meeting. What the hell could have possibly happened with her case in between now and then? If there's no trial date, there's no trial date. Didn't take me long to go off track. With my attorney appointed by you after 11 weeks and counting, after sending 4 letters to my attorney appointed by you with no response, and after finally getting an outside resource to inform me of the uneventful, confusing, filed documents online by my attorney appointed by you, I'm still waiting with the perpetual question mark over my head. Like a video game, a character that has a mission, just a little question mark over her head. Sarah standing there, smoking a cigarette in pink shorts. No letters, no visits, no face-to-face visits, no answered phone calls from my attorney, or even a response from you, Your Honor, regarding one of my letters expressing my legitimate concern of what's going on in my case. Where's my attorney? It has been over 4 months since being appointed another attorney. Number 6. And not by my decision, influence, or choice. Almost 3 of the 4 months not hearing from said attorney. 8/22/22, last correspondence. Why? What is the reason? Why haven't I received a letter? Even a 15-minute video update? Luminessa Von B joins the chat. Hello, Luminessa. I feel like reading this in my Yogi Bear voice. Why haven't I received a letter? Even a 15-minute video update? Anything? Even after my PTC on 10/25? Is that what truly confuses me? And nonetheless upsets me? Was the fact that I'm not in attendance, I could not... Okay. Even after my pre-trial conference on 10/25 is what truly confuses me, and nonetheless upsets me. The fact that I was not in attendance, so I could know what's going on in my case. Especially considering that I've not heard from my attorney in 11 weeks, and should have been included. Why was I not? This is my case. Was Mr. Bankowitz even there to represent me? I don't know anything still. Candace shouts out FU to Luminessa. FU, I hope you're having a great day. That's how we talk. You don't understand how we talk to each other. The problem is my constitutional rights are being incorrectly waived. Waived. I don't know if that got picked up. It almost looks like a WAI, but then you'd have to realize that there's no... Yeah, she's waiving her rights. The problem is my constitutional rights are being incorrectly waived without my knowledge or permission. I've never signed anything nor verbalized the idea I wish to waive. Yeah, she repeats it just to double down. To be clear, you can wave your hand and you can waive your legal rights if you're signing a waiver. And a waiver is not spelt like a wafer. It's spelt like a WAIVER. And that's how you would waive rights. I guess you could waive them. You have the right to remain silent. But I want those. I don't want that right. I've never signed anything nor verbalized the idea I wish to waive my appearances for any of my court dates. This is interesting because Judge Kranick quotes her on this. He says that he's read all the correspondence. Probably a year later, there's a court date. And she's like, why is my bunk being kicked? I didn't ask to be here. Miss Boone, you've stated previously that you want to be present for all your hearings. You're now appearing as your own counsel, so we can't have a hearing without you. But let's just listen to Sarah Boone's own words. I've never signed anything nor verbalized the idea I wish to waive my appearances to any of my court dates. Underlined in capital, I want to be present for all dates going forward, please, regardless of the significance. All are significant to me since my attorney fails to relay any information in any way. If he's not going to, then I must, myself and for myself, as always, my entire life. Yeah, she didn't get the nouns right in that sentence. I'll just read it once more so you realize that it's not me skipping words. If he's not going to, then I must myself and for myself as always my entire life. If he's not going to, then I must myself and for myself as always my entire life. If he's not going to, then I must myself and for myself. I must myself and for myself as always my entire life. Logic break. My brain is back. What else can I do? Who else can I seek help from? I have you and God, Judge Wooten. If I do have an attorney, where is he? There's so much to do all over in my case. Hopefully the right way this time off to a rocky start. Hopefully the right way this time off to a... okay. There's so much to do all over in my case. Hopefully the right way this time. Off to a rocky start. Where I wonder how more extended my time will be on top of the almost soon to be 36 months, 3 years, already. Is this how the justice system really works? Am I being penalized for wanting to be fully involved in everything in my case and intelligent enough to know my case is being handled is unjust from my point of view? Disastrous considering I'm still here sitting in Orange County Jail counting the days and praying my sixth attorney contacts me and we can move forward. Finally coming to an end to this seemingly endless debacle. That's interesting. It's one of the few edits. She missed a word. She went back and reread this instead of just assuming she wrote it perfectly. A little 2 inserted in here. And then there's a corrected E down here too. She so rarely admits mistakes, right? Like as I read in the, if he's not going to, then I must myself inform myself as always my entire life. Like the missing word there is I must fight for myself or I must advocate. But she left it out and just like, no, nothing else is going there. Anyway. We can move forward, finally coming to an end to this seemingly endless debacle. Debacle, probably debacle. You would think, considering the circus show my entire case is being made out to be. She called it a circus show and then she does a circus ad for a lawyer and gets one. You would think, considering the circus show my entire case is being made out to be, with all the hype, sensationalism, and publicity. I received a letter all the way from across the pond, England, the other day, even mirroring whoever wrote the letter from England. Hello, from across the pond. I got a letter from across the pond. Oh, I was over in the continent. I think they have continental breakfast there in England. Oh, they're so sophisticated. I got a letter from across the pond, everyone. From across the pond. I learn something new every day about the facts, events, and outcomes, in my case, from all the inmates and officers as well. I wonder if they might know where my attorney is. She learns more about her case from people on the inside. Like, I've seen your video. You're going in for life. I'm going to call you L. Wap Boone. How do you know? You don't have a crystal ball. Bottom line, please understand. I don't want to be here any longer. I don't want to be hindered any longer in getting just to the starting line. Again, I don't want to be suppressed in being heard, finally, truthfully, and correctly. So when, Judge Wooten, when will I hear from my attorney? Or you, please, just with some type of response. Other than a copy of my letters I keep sending, which I already have. That's pretty funny, too. So just to let Sarah know that they're getting the letters, they just send her back a copy of her own letter. Received. What the fuck? Just fucking fuckers? No answer? Yeah, that's right. In the meantime, it is my understanding the following documents have been filed in my case since the appointment of Frank Bankowitz, my attorney MIA. 7-11, Bankowitz appointed. 7-12, pre-trial order. 8-29, pre-trial canceled. 9-23, notice of unavailability, state. 10-7, correspondence, my letter to Bankowitz. 10:12, correspondence to defendant. Copy of my letter. 10:24, notice of appearance. For what? Had 3 years ago. Not guilty plea already filed. Waiver of appearance never signed, agreed to. Compensation for what? What's been done? I guess there was some paperwork that came in on October 24th she wasn't pleased with. October 25th, substituting conflict counsel. Who is my attorney? This is when Frank Bankwitz is probably trying to bow out. So he did get the letter she was talking about, and those must have been the Buffoon and Dud letters. So then he files on the docket substitution conflict counsel. And Sarah's like, what the fuck? What do you mean substitution? Yeah, that's right. That's it. In the almost 4 months I've been a client of Mr. Bankwitz, this is the only progress. What's next? Where are my copies of everything filed ever? This is the one way I can have some idea of what's happening. And please remember, I have no access to a computer, nor any reliable outside resource to check anything for me. Please mail copies. Trying to come up with any solution possible to keep me, the other party in my case, informed and updated. This is also a part of the court's responsibility. I would especially think, knowing that I've not heard from my attorney in any way for 11 weeks. I want to be included. As always, I thank you for your time and understanding. Please help however you are able. I'm not helpless. I am ready to get this show on the road. And to hear from someone other than myself asking the same question over and over and over. What's going on in my case? Or how many pens will I exhaust asking? That's funny. She's no longer counting her letters by pages. She's counting them by pens. That's like an old smoking joke Bill Hicks used to do, where he's like, oh, you smoke 2 packs a day? Fucking pussy. I go through 3 lighters. What? But yeah, what, you wrote 50-page letters? Yeah, well, I go through 3 pens in a letter, so don't talk to me till you're ready to step up to my game. How many pens will I exhaust asking? Grateful and patiently waiting. I await your response. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone. All right, Sarah Boone. What do you have for us? Your December letter better the fuck not be 15, 20 pages. It's getting late now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is reasonable. 4 is reasonable. Look at the printing is easier to read too. That's going to be, that's pleasant. Luminessa asks, she has no friends or monkeys at this time? No, this may have been exactly. So we're looking at 2022. It's possible that these are the first letters that attracted Lana's attention, because there was some element of belief of Sarah being, woe's me, I'm all alone, no one's helping me. And these letters were just starting to be public on the docket. But I don't even think, at this point, these letters, we weren't getting them in real time. It wasn't like this letter went up on December 5th and we're reading it on December 6th. Most of the Sarah case really started ramping up in the 6 months before the trial started in 2024. So I think a lot of this stuff started getting, it was being back requested as FOIA requests. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. All right. Candace's chat. Do you think Sarah rereads letters after she writes them, or just calls it good and sends them off? I think we have a little evidence that she did her first rereading with those 2 little inserts, but it might be that she was just rereading the section she read. I don't think she reads the letters from beginning to end based off of the mistakes that are in them. So at best, she might be rereading a passage just so she can figure out how to end a sentence. It's kind of funny about this letter, too. If you look at the stamp in the middle, no action taken, return to file. That's basically the response to the letter, the real response, the effective response that Sarah got is this changed nothing, but it's on the record. Give me a second. I'm just going to blow my nose, but I turn off the volume. All right. Feel like I'm back. I feel like I'm at 100%. We're probably ready to go. That's the end of a letter. We need to get to the beginning of a letter. 5 letter. Wooten. On screen? Yes, I think so. Judge Wayne C. Wooten, Ray Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 002603 AO. Summary of progress. She even puts the progress in quotes as a heading. Numbers only. It's all I have. She's doing this bullet point. This is really a much cleaner document. I wonder how her headspace has changed from the last letter. Bullet point 1. Since appointed by court, Frank J. Bankowitz, attorney number 6, July 11th, 2022, 21 weeks, 147 days, and counting. Okay, so that's just, we're just going to lay these. Fact 1, Frank Bankowitz came on the scene on July 11th of 2022. I'm going to paraphrase this because her wording is stupid. Fact 2, last time she spoke to Frank Bankowitz was August 22nd, 2022, which we know from the last letter was a 90-minute meeting. It was in person. That's fairly substantial, which means it's been 15 weeks, 105 days, and counting. Point 3. Since the pretrial conference, no response from attorney or court. So now we're talking about October 25th, 2022. Again, that's less than 6 weeks. If that pretrial conference was then, it's been the month of November's past. 6 weeks. Well, I'm doing the math. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, of course, did the math for me. Since my last letter to judge regarding MIA attorney in case, that was November 3rd. It's been 4 weeks since that letter. All right, so summary of all these points. Total hours of time represented by Frank J. Bankowitz. This is where Sarah's major misunderstanding with how a public defender works. So if I was to ask you how much time should Frank J. Bankowitz as a public defender have spent on her case in the 147 days that he was working with Sarah's case, I don't know, like I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 hours would be a reasonable amount of time. Maybe as much as 10 to 20 hours. But I think more than 20 hours would be actually asking a lot from a public defender. I think as few as 5 hours could be realistic for somebody who's juggling a big caseload. But Sarah writes, total hours of time represented by Frank J. Bankowitz, 3,528 and counting. Total number of time spent with client, Sarah Boone, 2. So she thinks this is some major own, that of the 3,528 hours that Frank's been her lawyer, only 2 have been spent with her. Not your lawyer. You're just one of, we've all seen Florida Body Cam. There's a lot of people that are requesting the representation of a public defender. For every video we've seen with, call my lawyer. But yeah, Sarah Sarah misunderstands that a public defender is not your public defender. You are their client. Where's my attorney? Here's the letter beginning. Where's my attorney? Where are you, Judge Wooten? Oh, this is a little Where Are You, Judge Jackson? I didn't know Sarah started it. Where's my attorney? Where are you, Judge Wooten? I understand the holiday mode everyone is in as we inmates sit and wait for it to pass. But before we come to the end of yet another year, almost 3 for me in OCCD, it would be respectable of the court to please advise the status and location of my attorney foremost, and also provide any real progress of my case, which is difficult to do, and further without an attorney. Nonetheless, after being appointed so many, I thought hopefully the level of dysfunction would be lessened. Unfortunately, to date, I am sadly mistaken and feel I've been severely misled. I've been severely misled. Even more unfortunate seems to be the lack of representation from any party of my case other than myself. Look at the numbers. Sarah's going to do some more mathing for us. Oh no, she's just saying look at the numbers from before. 3,528 and 2. In the meantime, in preparation for upcoming status hearing on 12/20, 10:45 a.m., which I just received notice for, thank you for the inclusion. I am in the process. So she's already got an upcoming meeting, but she wants to write this letter on the 5th. So this is just 1 week before the hearing. Why don't I know what's going on in my case? And thank you, by the way, for the letter where we're going to have a status meeting to talk about my case. In the meantime, and in preparation for the upcoming status hearing on 12/20 at 10:45 a.m., which I just received notice for, thank you for the inclusion, I am in the process of writing to our governor, Governor DeSantis. Let me be free. I am in the process of writing to our governor regarding the mismanagement of my case. So this is when Lana's on board, because Lana and Sarah were talking about writing the governor. The governor, we know traditionally has the pardon power for state crimes. I can't see any reason why a law and order government would be interested in pardoning Sarah, but we've written a letter to the governor. I am in the process of writing to our governor regarding the mismanagement of my case and the multiple added obstacles and deterrents I am experiencing, trying to avoid any further time-consuming hindrances or setbacks going forward. Kim Stole My Fish Soap. Welcome. Kim Stole My Fish Soap was one of my early inspirations, one of my first longer form videos. It was Kim Stole My Fish Soap and Winter Lake that made Reddit comments that inspired me to do a little video expounding on what I thought of the Three Rail documentary company. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you again, Kim. Some of the major legitimate concerns of mine are the violations of my constitutional rights, the degree of neglect and nonchalant approach by everyone in my case to substantially progress, and illegal, non-permissive release and distribution by the Orange County Sheriff's Department of crucial, confidential case files, videos, photographs, documents, etc. pertinent to my case, which I have not even seen or even know about. Everyone knows more than I do about my case. She doesn't like that we were having fun watching her JCS video. That's what was happening right around here. I have 2 million views. Yeah, we all go to sleep listening to you get handcuffed. As a result, it is impossible to choose a jury that will be impartial, fair, and uninfluenced. And that's so funny too, because as far as the reach of her case goes, it's thin. Like even amongst my own family, I've been doing this channel for just over 7 months. They don't know that much about Sarah Boone. They're not that interested in Sarah Boone. Even the fact that I'm 24/7 doing Sarah Boone content. Like, okay, what'd she do again? Fuck, she's fucked up. But yeah, there's a lot of us that are interested, but it's a fairly shallow base. It's not like everyone in Orange County gives a shit who she is. I don't even think the people at Muldoon's, they probably could have pulled a full jury out of Muldoon's and had enough people who are like, no, I don't know who she is. Oh, she's here every week. Oh, she must be on the other side of the bar. I sit over here. Non-permissive. Everyone knows more than I do. Yeah, 2022, this has to be when the JCS video is blowing up. This being a significant reason I requested a change of venue previously. And then that's the stupidity. So on the one hand, she's saying she's got global reach with her case, and she's requested a change of venue. Well, if you're saying that everyone knows about your case from here to Timbuktu, you can't go anywhere else. You might as well stay where you are because people know about you no matter where you go. And again, no problem finding 12 people, probably within 3 blocks of the courthouse that didn't know who the fuck Sarah was. Actually, yeah. At this point, it will make no difference. There's nowhere I am not known. There's tons of places you are not known, Sarah. The premature, unfair judgment by everyone has wrongfully and inappropriately already been made. I haven't even seen my discovery or know where my attorney is, my 6th attorney. And yes, you've seen your discovery. All the discovery came from you, Sarah. We learned it from you. We learned it from you, Sarah. Not only am I the other party in my case, the other party, you're the only party. You killed the other party in your case. Not only am I the other party in my case still in the dark, again, just completely, you want to talk in the dark. She's oblivious to the fact that she murdered someone in a dark suitcase, locked. Oh my God. Not only am I the other party in my case. No, the other party in your suitcase was in the dark. Not only am I the other party in my case still in the dark, with everything, I am blind and in the dark. Not only am I in the dark, but I'm also blind and in the dark. The printing's nice. Not only am I, the other party in my case, still in the dark with everything, I am blind and in the dark. Oh, she's adding, so not only am I in the dark, I'm blind and in the dark. Which again is kind of stupid. If you're blind and in the dark, you're actually probably more prepared than anyone to be in the dark. A blind person in the dark is no longer a hindrance to the blind person. Darkness has no effect on a blind person. You had a blind dog. Did it care whether you turned the lights on? Sarah, you should know this. Know this. Know that. I don't. We know you don't. Not only am I, the other party in my case, still in the dark with everything, I am blind and in the dark. This is wrong. This is unfair, especially for a still proud citizen. Oh, still proud, underline, not a quote. Citizen of the United States of America. This is America? I thought this was America. America. And unacceptable. There is more to everything, much more, and which I've been patient to the extreme to explain, interpret, and educate for what now seems to be the whole world. I am hopeful the governor will be able to untangle the chaos and mistreatment. No one else seems to be available or willing to abide by the protocol of our justice system and rightfully, eagerly apply themselves. I'm hoping, still, these aforementioned topics can be further discussed at the hearing on the 20th, in which I am bringing to everyone's attention prior. I have not heard from my court-appointed attorney to date, so I am unaware what else may be on the docket. It's time to finally move forward, and in all the right ways. Happy holidays, Sarah Boone. Mr. Bankowitz, I'm also sending a direct copy to you, in case the court and or judge does not, therefore giving no reason of any unsurety of my ongoing concerns regarding having no communication from you in any manner for almost 4 months. I believed the court and or judge would have sent copies to you of all my letters to them. But since I've been unsuccessful in receiving a response or update by their side also, I'm taking it upon myself to make sure everyone is aware I am still sitting here waiting on you. Please respond. I look forward to seeing you at the hearing, if not before then, with very much overdue and anticipated progress. Thank you, Boone. All right, that is the end of that. Ooh, eyes are a little red. I'm feeling a little smiley. Little blush never killed anyone. Feeling a little red. All right. We're through the videos. We're through all of the letter readings. Those were fun. I don't know what I'm going to do next. What am I going to do next? Michael Wang is here. Candace, Care for JC. Oh, my fish soap. Can't get wife interested in there. Sarah Boone. Thinking after 26 years, this might be what ends our marriage. No, don't press it. Don't. She's not worth it. She's not. And by she's not worth it, I mean Sarah, not your marriage. You don't want to sacrifice it over. It's almost like the Seinfeld where they wanted to do a voice. They were making fun of one of Jerry's girlfriends, and it's like, if I'm not allowed to do the voice, I don't know if I really want to date her anymore. And turned out the voice was stupid. He broke up with the girl so him and George could still go, hello. Kind of dumb. He ruined it. He did it too soon. What do I have to do? Okay, let's go to at a couple of things. Reading, yeah, we'll see. I thought I had footage of people going up to a moose.
Never.
Oh, that's not it. We're talking about Canadians and moose. There we go. Moose charges that man. That's what I wanted. Command copy. This is old video, but Kevin Brady brought up moose and Canadians, so looked up this video, which I get a kick out of over and over.
Never.
Oh, that's still me.
It's not my moose, but it's a wild animal. Get the away. It's not my moose, but it's a wild animal. Get the away from it. You idiots.
Let it be wild. Don't have to
Jesus Christ, you guys must be the dumbest people I've ever met in my life.
Go ahead, touch it.
Go ahead, try. Go ahead, try. See what happens. See what the happens.
See how long that leg will go.
Get the away from the moose.
A little closer.
It's the moose though.
A little closer.
Go on.
You guys are idiots.
Don't touch it. No, touch the fuck.
Get him.
Yeah, get him.
Yes.
Get him. Get him. It's not my moose, but it's a wild animal. Get the away from it.
Just for the record, those aren't Canadians. This is in Big Sky, Montana, bordering the Canadian border. So, not my moose. You guys are fucking idiots. All right, so there was that. What else did I have? I thought I had some fun stuff. Skip that. We'll skip this. Is there anything else we want to do? We've been going for 2.5 hours tonight. We've had a good time. I think it might be a good idea for me to rest up for the big Sunday Fun Day tomorrow. Does anyone want to discuss what's happening for Sunday Fun Day? Sunday Fun Day is going to be a Mythbusters style episode where I debunk the bottle of wine, fruit from the vine. Let me just take the volume off of that. Yeah, so Sunday Fun Day, I've got the rules in this little short, and it'll be part of a bonus stream tomorrow. This is the message I originally sent to my sister-in-law. I'm thinking about Saturday, the 23rd, is all-day paint, puzzles, and wine day. Is that any good for you two? Talking about her and my brother. Her response, what time are you thinking? Totally missing the point of Sunday Fun Day as an all-day activity. So the first rule of Sunday Fun Day is you wake up. If you have an open bottle of wine in the fridge, you drink it before you proceed to the next step. Oh, I just realized I'm not showing you guys the Sunday Fun Day. There it is. Let's just rewind the whole thing. There we go. Sunday Fun Day. Bonus Saturday stream. So I don't know what time the stream will start, but keep an eye on your YouTube if you happen to be on and you see a notification. It's not going to be pressing viewing. This is the original message I sent to my sister-in-law to let her know that this Saturday is going to be the day. What we're going to do is basically recreate as much of Sarah's story just to show how, well, who knows? Maybe, we're going to be scientists about it. So it's either going to be busted. You couldn't do a 1,000-piece puzzle and drink all that wine and also do painting. It'll be plausible. Who knows? Maybe we'll finish the puzzle. Maybe we'll have extra time left over and have to order extra wine. Or probable. Probable, I guess, would be we finish it. Nonetheless, what my plan is I'm going to hang a phone over the puzzle board, just a couple of pieces of string, hang it straight down, and when I declare change of scenery, well, we'll get to that step. First step is me telling her about the puzzles and paint day. She asked, what time are you thinking? That's a reasonable question. Reasonable if you don't know anything about Sarah, because obviously Sunday Fun Day is an all-day affair. So what's the first thing you do for Sunday Fun Day? You wake up. If you have an open bottle of wine in the fridge, you drink it before you proceed to the next step. Asked for a picture of any remaining wine before their days get started. What do you do after you drink the wine? You do some kind of chore for a feeling of accomplishment. Again, before and after pics. Then this will be something for my video. This isn't going to be part of the live stream, but we'll do an alcohol inventory. I'll assign 1 magnum of Chardonnay per participant. We're all well over 100 pounds, so we're going to be doing this experiment a little bit more safely than the Sarah reality, but at double the combined weight of Sarah and George, this should be a safer activity. And who knows, if we need to prove it by, drinking twice as much wine, we probably won't do it. But regardless, that's the plan. The plan is 1 magnum per person. Participants will be free drinking from their own bottle. We'll use a Sharpie. I know a lot of people saw the shopping list and saw Sharpie on it. We're not going to be drawing black eyes on each other. We're just going to be using the Sharpies to label the bottle. After 1 to 3 hours of painting, I did buy the puzzles and the paint, but we'll stop the painting. I'll take pictures of people's drawings. I'm going to suggest everything from pink shorts, blind and deaf dogs, bottle of wine, apartment door with the number 3 on it. There's lots of different Sarah-inspired artwork we can do, so we'll just have some fun doing the puzzles and the paints until I decide it's time for a change of scenery. At the change of scenery, we will do another inventory on the wine, kind of jackass style. I'm Dan D, and this is what's left of my wine. We don't have a Publix. Canada, everything is controlled by the Liquor Distribution Board. So even if you are a private liquor store, you buy your alcohol from the government, and the government distributes all booze. So that said, there are a number of establishments to pick up alcohol. Some wine is cheaper than others. I'll be picking we'll talk about the price. I'll be picking an inexpensive brand of table Chardonnay. Once the puzzling starts, I'm not going to be able to keep track of time, so I'm going to set an alarm on my phone every 30 minutes. I'll check in with the chat just to see that the live stream's still active. For safety's sake, anyone can declare they're puzzled out and stop drinking wine and stop participating in the challenge. That would be a sign that it's stupid, and the idea of finishing a 1,000-piece puzzle while pissed drunk is not very plausible. When all participants are puzzled out or the puzzle is complete, the live stream finishes. We will then dance to practice music. We'll take photos. There are dogs there. We might even dance with the dogs. To be clear, Sunday Fun Day is the activity, but we're doing it on Saturday because we have jobs, unlike Sarah. No suitcase rides down the stairs. Phil, funny you ask about that. My brother and I, God, I don't know how we survived, but as kids, we used to get into the laundry basket and ride it down the wooden stairs from top floor to the basement. So the basement floor was like a cheaply tiled concrete kind of floor. And yeah, we just ride this. Or the sled. We take the plastic sleds down. All fun and games until we caught the edge of the sled on the banister that's halfway up, and it spun the thing around and sent my brother out halfway down the stairs. And not tell Mom we did that. We'll hide the sled so she doesn't know we broke it. All we have to say about that. I will close that. So that's the plan. Be doing that tomorrow. Kim stole my fish scope. Has a blind cat. Yeah, that counts. Bill has done the sled down the stairs. Yeah, I think it's just something. Kids of the Gen X age, we're a lot more free range. If you came home at the end of the night, you were that much stronger for it. Anybody want to see the video of the Tim Hortons lady who shits in the Tim Hortons and then picks up her shit and throws it at the employee? Particular taste that's not for everyone, but if you're interested, it is on one of my playlists. I can play that now. Not interested, I will stream. Get rid of the music as well. It's a little Get Swifty. If you're a fan of Rick and Morty, the Get Swifty song literally says we're going to take off our pants and shit on the floor. And that's what this woman does. Yeah, that's her. That's her. That. myself. Do you guys really want to see this though? This is okay. Luminessa, you and your sister are laughing out loud. Watch this. Kick it up a notch. I'm just going to reduce the size of myself here. Key thing to keep in mind with this particular video. Okay, that should be enough to get. No, we'll even shrink that a bit. You don't want to miss any of the action. There's a lot happening in this video. Get rid of the text too. Okay, I think that cleans it up. The last thing we're going to do is use the drawing tool. Just want you to focus on okay, so this woman here is the one that we want to be paying attention to. She is angry with the clerk who is over here. You don't quite see them, but they'll come into frame. She's going to back up to this little pony wall, which is here. Going to lean back, and where you see the sun on the floor, right around there, that's you'll notice that a dark spot hits the floor. We'll play it one time at full speed here. I think the argument here is, I'd like the key to the bathroom. I'm not giving you the key to the bathroom. Well, you better give me the key to the bathroom. If you don't give me the key to the bathroom, I'm going to make your day miserable. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Here we go. Video is moved slightly. Yeah, okay, so this is where things have just turned from bad to worse. Take the graphics off the screen here. Graphics are messed up. What we want to watch is right about here now. And not only just watch how the floor suddenly darkens, but how quickly she picks it up and how quickly people flee. I didn't get any permission to show this, you guys. No thanks. No thanks. Don't want to watch this. Yeah, no, don't watch this. You probably don't. This is the mature end of the stream. More the immature end. This is disgusting. All right, so we'll do that one more time. Showing that I'm running out of things to do. There we go. There's the lady. And poof, up firing. Got to give her credit for how quickly. I don't think the poop even had the 5-second rule on the floor. Now, partially the reason I show this is because the Tim Hortons has really gone downhill. It used to be a nice place to take the family. Used to be police that spent a lot of time at a Tim Hortons, but now I do appreciate that she wipes. Gives a couple of wipes. Doesn't take it with her, but, nice to wipe. Those were the features of this morning's show. We started it off with a little humor. But, okay, we're not going to watch any more of that. I think if you guys have left, you guys have made the right decision. She did. She flew it exactly like a monkey at the zoo. My mom has a story about that, actually. My mom was at San Diego Zoo, and she had a monkey fling shit at her, and she saw like this look in his eye, like, oh yeah, and oh, she's looking at you, isn't that cute? And then poof, flinging shit. Let's go full. I think this is the goodbye camera. Yeah, tomorrow is Sunday Fun Day, so I'm going to get a little bit of sleep. I appreciate you guys coming to stick around with me for the evening show. The morning show was a lot of fun. If you want to skip the Women of Crime before Sarah, there's probably an hour and a half of the show where it's random terrible women internationally, each one worse than the first. Lucy Lee is the first. She's from Canada. Tracy Andrews from the UK was second. She's awful. Catherine Knight, she was third. She's the worst. She is worse than Sarah, Betty, Corey, Tracy, and Lucy, all wrapped up into one. Catherine Knight is foul. Catherine Knight is, it's, that's a case that we're not going to cover before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner, that's for sure. All right. Time to say goodbye to the chats. Yeah, hit the like button before you're out of here. Why would she shit on the floor, though? So, Candace, I think she shit on the floor literally because she was told that she couldn't have the key to the bathroom. It's a fairly common thing in the fast food restaurants where they're like, the bathrooms for customers only. And there's a bit of, with the fentanyl epidemic and drug use epidemic, a lot of bathrooms that get kind of co-opted by street people that just want to set up shop. So I think that's what happened in that case, where the person just eyeballed the lady and said, no, I'm not giving you the key. And she, wasn't threatening. She, you have to have one loaded. Like, you got to have one in the chamber. You can't just willy-nilly decide, I'm going to shit on the floor to fuck with you. So she really had to go, and they picked the wrong time to say, you want to use the bathroom to do drugs. She probably wanted it quite authentically. And because of that, she was able to execute that revenge strategy. So, yeah, big fuck you to everyone who's having a good day. When I see my friends, I say, hey, Scott, fuck you. Hey, Phil, fuck you. Fuck you from... I feel almost like Romper Room, but it's like for adults. So instead of like looking through the looking glass and seeing all my friends, it's like, hey, fuck you to Phil. Fuck you to Candace. Fuck you to Charles Grieve, who's coming in. All my fuck yous to all the friends out in Doobie Land, into Fine and Dandy Land. If you're fine and you're dandy, fuck yous from me. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. This stream won't get monetized. Amber Heard. Yeah, Amber Turd. I always think about the funniest thing with the shit story for that was Johnny Depp being directly asked, how do you know that it wasn't your dogs? She said it was your dogs. Your Honor, I have teacup Yorkies. Just no smile, no, you do your own math. Just like the elephant outline for Mr. Bloodworth at Corey Richard's testimony. Like, I have teacup Yorkies. I can tell the difference between a human cougar-sized shit and a teacup Yorkie shit on my linens, Your Honor. Not speaking as an expert here, but just as a layman. All right, I see a lot of people are having a good time, but I know you're up late. If you're here on the East Coast, it's time to wake up almost. If you're here on the West Coast, it's, time to get some sleep. Enjoy the late night television or Forensic Files or whatever you're going to watch. There's some really good ones on Netflix right now. I'd recommend the Worst Ex Ever Wade Wilson one. Wade Wilson's quite disgusting himself, but the documentary isn't over-the-top graphic and provides an interesting look into his pre-crime personality. I got a lot of my Wade Wilson information from phone calls in prison and Jumpsuit Pablo, so kind of interesting to see his the days before he had the online collection of Wade Wilson Deadpool fans. And Care for JC usually says hi bitches, but only to the fun friends. Well, hello to those bitches and all the bitches. Hope you're having a good time. Every time I hear the phrase elephant in the room, I think of Bloodworth's clothing. Yeah, that was a really good, you needed a tension breaker in that trial too. So it was almost like perfect absurdist humor at a time that you really needed it. But it just cemented the circumstantial evidence. For so long, lawyers have used the cliche of somebody comes in, they're sopping wet, and you look outside and everything's covered in water. Circumstantially, you know it rained. You didn't see the rain, but you have enough evidence of it. But I think that shit picture was... that's the new cliche. I think that's the new way that everyone's going to describe it. Forget about rain and a raincoat. It's about an outline of shit on the wall, and do we know how this happened? All right. I feel like my voice is going, my eyes are going, my brain's going a little bit. It's probably time for me to go. Hope you guys are fine, because I'm Dan D. And this end of the live stream, about 10 seconds. 7, 4, 2,